Up next, all the way from the Bay Area, and the guy who designed our poster. Please welcome Steven Steiner.
Hey. Thanks, Robert, for having me on. As Robert said, I am from the Bay Area, so I'm in San Francisco just rocking my quarantine mullet, as I like to call it. It's where it's business up front with the collared shirt and a party down below, if you know what I mean, right? Doesn't matter. That's how we do it. And also, it's important to know that my name is Steven with a V, because PH doesn't make a V sound anywhere else. But apparently in Steven it can. I don't get it. I don't call people on a cell phone or go to the pharmacy, and Phoenix, Arizona is not how I pronounce that city. But whatever, apparently in Steven we can use a V. So it's with a V. And if you want to know, that's my Instagram right there. I think I'm pointing at the right spot. If you want to follow me, go for it. But that's not what you're here for. I should probably entertain you first, right? So a few things that are interesting with this whole quarantine and everything. It's because COVID-19 is out there playing Pokemon Go, trying to catch us all, I guess. But I'm just in here gaining weight. So we're catching something. At least I'm feeling healthy about it sometimes. But it's interesting though. I mean, it's opened a whole new world, right? George earlier was talking about dating and kind of playing that field out a little bit and what that's like, and trying to do that knowing that, like, hey, I got a job right now, like I'm thankful for that. But what makes it more interesting is the world of trying to compare interviewing and the skills with getting a job with dating, because your resume is supposed to be your list of previous work experience. But when your Tinder profile is just a list of your previous dating experiences, not getting hit too well. But if I actually make it to having the conversation, though, that's an interesting thing, because they want to check references. And it's like, what? Here's my Rolodex of exes? I don't think that's quite what they're looking for. It's a bit of a struggle. I mean, but it is one of those things to where I do know that they tell you to dress for the role you want, not the role you have, which is why I come prepared with my quarantine mullet for all y'all tonight. But when I show up to a first date dressed like a dad, doesn't go over too well. Just in case if you need a visual, I'll work it out for you. Skechers shoes on, pleated khaki pants, maternity shirt, slightly tucked in, classy, you know. And I'm pushing a stroller. I mean, what else do you need? And if we actually make it to having the conversation, I'm packed full of dad jokes. And don't act surprised about these ones, because I stole them.
No.
But I solved a puzzle last week. Not to brag, but it said 3 to 4 years on the box. Yeah. That one takes a little bit for some of you who don't know how to do math. Math is hard. It's fine. I'll let it sink in. But to add to that, though, a dad joke becomes a dad joke when it becomes a parent. So that's cool. And I'll stop boring you with these dad jokes because I don't have kids yet. And that would just be a faux pas, if you know what I mean. Oh. Packed full of dad jokes. But we'll get back to some originals if you don't mind. To tell you a little bit about myself, I practice this thing now in quarantine that I like to call lonely prep. Some of you probably call it meal prep, but I live alone. So 1 pound of ground beef gives me Taco Tuesday and Taco Wednesday and Taco Thursday. You should probably check your TV guide because Discovery Channel reached out for a taco week. And I got more left over for spaghetti. I think you get the point. I'm tired of it too, guys. I'm tired of it too. And you just heard a few seconds of it. But what makes it more interesting, though, about cooking is something that you probably can't tell by looking at me. So 6'3" with blue eyes. I'm actually 50% Italian. Although I look more like one of those used car salesman things. I can hold this one all day, folks. This is my workout. Thank you. Break a sweat. All right. And that other 50% is 50% starving. That's why I fit the role so well. And it's really because my mom, who's 100% Italian, her cooking just tastes like al dente disappointment. Oh. But I love her, though. She's been great, right? Like, she's done a really good job of raising my sister and I. And it's important to make that known because what I didn't realize is that after going to therapy, I was diagnosed with YBS. You probably haven't heard of it, but it's called younger brother syndrome. And it's one of those things to where being the victim of my sister's role play has really changed the way I live my life nowadays. And you would think that the antics would have stopped now that we're in our 30s, but it just gets way more interesting. Hey, Steven, you want to have a tea party? These are shot glasses, not teacups anymore. But what makes it fun, though, is that if or when I get a chance to go back home, I can't wait for when we get to play dress up. Because dress up really just releases my alter ego, Stephanie. Stephanie's great. But Stephanie just looks like one of the Kardashians who just didn't have any plastic surgery done. I'll describe that one for you, though. I got laced up weird black shoes we found in my mom's closet. This long blue dress that doesn't probably fit anybody. And I have this wig that was for Halloween when I was Gene Simmons at 5 years old. But the best part is that instead of using makeup, we just use watercolor paints. So I just look like Joker and Shrek hooked up. And I'm just on the morning walk of shame. I don't have a problem. You have a problem. This is great. Stephanie's wicked, guys. She comes out in some weird forms. But we'll keep rocking this one. Robert, I don't even know what my time is anymore. I'm having a good time. I can keep going unless you gave me the... 1 minute. Nice. All right. 1 more minute. Let's keep doing this. All right. So some other things to get into that you might find interesting about me is this whole aspect of being Italian has some interesting parts to where I was baptized Catholic as a kid, or I should say as a baby. And by baptized, I didn't give consent at 2 months old. So really, I was just waterboarded for Jesus. But that Italian Catholic heritage has me coming back for more, though. Because I think it's because the wine and bread portions are never filling. I don't know what it is, but the blood of Christ is thicker than water, and the body of Christ goes better with Cheese Whiz. All right. Well, that's my time, so I'm going to get back to trying to find the next opportunity, and you guys enjoy your night. Thank you so much, Robert, for having me on.